I'm going to be using the Godot game engine because I'm the most familiar with it. And to get started, I'm just going to import all of my animations. I'm putting these animations onto my character body, which basically serves as the core movement node in Godot, and it handles physics, collisions, and movement logic, while the animations are going to give it life, make it feel responsive. However, this guy is not going to feel responsive until I actually program him to start moving. So I'm actually going to start programming all of his movement, and while I'm not going to break down all my code, it's like 700 lines of code that I don't feel like going through in a video. Sorry, maybe another time. I am just going to show you a basic gist of everything I'm doing. Starting off, I need to get input from the player to check if they're moving left or right. So I'm going to be getting their direction, and this is going to be either a value of -1 or 1, and -1 means to the left and 1 means to the right. Next, I'm going to be applying gravity, so we actually know whenever this person's falling, they don't just float, they actually fall. And if the player is pressing left or right, I'm going to gradually increase the character's speed in that direction. But if they let go, I slow them down using friction. This makes movement feel smooth instead of instant. Adding on to this as well, if Sonic runs long enough, I want to eventually have his jog animation go to a run animation, and his max speed and acceleration should change to match this, since he's going from jogging now to running, so he should be faster. And then finally for jumping, if the character presses the jump button while on the ground, I'm going to have the character move upward. And then also, just to give the character more control over their jumps, if they release the jump button early, their jump cuts short, and this gives more control over how high they're going to jump. After tweaking some variables like speed and acceleration, I think Sonic's base movement feels pretty good. So now I'm going to add some abilities so Sonic feels a bit more unique. Starting off with rolling, rolling is going to be a state that happens when you're moving fast and you press down. And when you're in this state, unlike normal running, instead of accelerating, the character is going to carry their momentum forward, but they also lose speed over time due to friction. Next, I'm implementing the spin dash, which happens whenever the player is crouching while standing still, and when they hold down the crouch button and they press the jump button, that's when the spin dash is going to start charging. Once the player lets go, I take the stored charge speed and launch them forward while putting them in the roll state. I also want to make use of those air tricks that we made, so whenever Sonic's in the air, he can press the dash button, and depending on which direction he's going in, he will either do a forward dash or an upward dash, and that dash will be a trick. Additionally, if Sonic presses a dedicated taunt button while in the air, he'll perform one of the 3 poses that we made before, and it will be considered a trick as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It took me a while to even get to this point, but I'm pretty happy with what I have right now. Of course, I need to make the code way more efficient, man.